Hello and welcome to a smerdp video, and today we are looking at X-Treme X-Men issue number 1. It begins anew, and we know that this is written by Chris Claremont, who wrote that original run about 20 years ago. So I always feel a bit worried when a legendary writer such as Chris returns, even for such a short stint. I mean, when he did X-Men's first run, it was so brilliant that when he left, it was a void to most readers out there. It was a really big void, but that void was filled really well, and we had some great stories afterwards. And then Chris returned in the, I'm going to say the late 90s. I could be wrong. And he did Revolution, and then he led up where he got X-Treme X-Men. He also did what was it, X-Men Forever, which I think I started reading, and this is, I think this was Chris' take on what he felt he wanted to do with this team, and in my mind I felt like it went horribly wrong. So I don't think I even finished reading that because I didn't like it at all, but it was Chris's way. So when he returned to, he did X-Treme X-Men. Now X-Treme X-Men is a little bit hit and miss. It's really good. I really do enjoy the whole run, but there are moments of it that are not clear cut. There are so many changes in characters. There were bits of it that I really didn't always like, and I'm not sure whether that's because Chris didn't have full control over the characters that he was given, and he had to keep swapping around to suit other X-Men titles. Maybe that's the case. But anyway, he is back and he is writing X-Treme X-Men. It begins anew. And he does this beautiful introduction where he gives us an introduction to his favorite character, Kitty Pryde, or Catherine Pryde. And she is working back at the bar. She's back at the university. So we're already given the timeline that this is back when X-Treme X-Men was alive. This isn't now. This isn't Krakoan time, etc. So you've got Chris Claremont and Salvador Larroca, which was a legend on X-Treme X-Men as well. So I'm really glad that he is there doing the art, because there is nobody that I would rather have at Chris's side delivering the artwork than Salvador. And then you've got Guru EFX on the colors. Clayton Cowles is on the letters as always. And then it's got some editors that I'm not even interested in. So we open up to the story to this terrible fiasco. We're at Bells of Hell, which is where Kitty Pryde was working during her university days. There's everybody dead, the X-Men are dead, and Wolverine is next. So very simple, and it's so deliciously done. I mean, like I said, the artwork, just look at it, it's absolutely glorious. And panel, Catherine gets into it after Wolverine gets his head cut off. She managed to take the adamantium claws out of his hands, but even though she's intangible, Ogun has kicked her. Now Ogun is, I believe he's a Chris Claremont creation. He was, back in 1985, there was a 6-issue miniseries, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I've actually got, it's actually in the Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 omnibus, but I suspect it's in the Wolverine omnibus as well. I wouldn't expect it to be anywhere else. So it was sort of, I may get this wrong. It was like Wolverine's second miniseries, and he took Kitty Pryde, who Chris has a lot of love for, and he develops these characters and this bond between them even more, which is great, because Ogun used to be his mentor once upon a time. So anyway, she goes in with the claws, and well, they snap. So she's not getting very far, and he thinks her beat, and then she, this is in her mind an illusion to her. He creates her. He tells her that he's been in her mind for months, years, decades, no, not decades, years, because she was 13 back then. What, she's probably about 18, 19 here. And he wants her to be his host. So he intends to do that, but she is resilient to the end and fights back. And as such, he eventually loses out to Kitty Pryde. And she wakes up with a scream. And then we get the opening pages here. And who is the team? We got Rogue, Storm, their leader. Remy LeBeau, Gambit. He's Sweetie, Rogue. I thought that was a bit weird, to be honest with you. Even though she is his Sweetie, I don't think she would like to be called his Sweetie. Anyway, Bishop, Sage, Catherine, Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat. She's got the biggest name going. Then we got Rachel Summers, Kitty's best friend, best human friend. Now, that ain't right either, is it? Surely. She was a mutant when she was saved. I find that really weird. If somebody knows what's going on, tell me, because that one's just threw me completely. Lockheed, her very best dragon friend. Ah, human friend. Well, she is human. Okay, right. She's saying, that's my best human friend. That's my best dragon friend. And Logan Wolverine. Logan, their villain, the adversary. And as you can see here, we got a lovely Rachel Gray with the fiery phoenix going on there. So they're trying to calm Kitty down. And as such, Rachel has seen this as an alert. She can read minds. She probably has read what was going on in Kitty Pryde's mind during her dream thing. And, well, Storm's arrived. And Storm is in this new costume as well. She's not in her Extreme X-Men costume. She's in this new costume as well. So she makes her entrance via the window and some wind, etc. And she wants to know what's going on with Storm. And also Leela Chinley turns up with the rest of the team. Now, no Sage is there. I thought Sage wasn't there. So which is really cool. And it's like, hey, the gang's all here. So there was a Mayday sent out and they've all rocked up to save the day. Also, Wolverine rocks up as well. And this looks like Ultimate Wolverine's costume, but I know it was very similar to that Extreme X-Men costume as well. That is a figure we have still yet to get. And he says that it wasn't Kitty screaming, it was Ogun, as Pryde threw him out. And there's some other comics if you want to look at them as well. So Wolverine in the background sort of tells the story about Ogun. So he gives you a recap on that mini-series. I'm not going to recap on that because I really, if you have not read it, I highly recommend go read it. Go find, there must be a graphic novel out there. Read it on Marvel Unlimited. You know, you probably get it on Amazon Kindle, I'm going to say. That's probably a weird one. I would go read that because you're missing out. Leela Chinley recommends that they go off and you know have a moment to get herself together across space and be sort of safe, etc. Kitty Pryde sort of denies that, but it's an open-ended invitation, etc. So I'm just whizzing past it just a little bit, just get past it. So Wolverine thought that was the end of it back in when whatever happened. He thought that was it done. However, he's been hiding in Kitty Pryde for all this time, and she makes a crack about so much for telepaths. He also says that her scent had changed as well because of this intrusive. So they are going to go out to try and find him. And then Gambit sort of has a little moment with Wolverine, just going back to the days where Gumbo and Wolverine would sort of have little digs at each other, you know, because a little bit of trust. Storm tells them to rein it in, etc. Wolverine's having none of it. He really wants to go half-cock out there like he would have done. He just would have gone off and done his own thing, as he's done many times over the years. And she reminds them that there are no global marshals. Now, you got to remember when she agreed for them to become XSE, X-Men sanction enforcers. Is that what it means? I'm trying to remember what it meant. It was never really followed upon. So Chris gave Storm this medal that was first came to light back with Bishop, that in the future this creates it, and she actually initiates it, but then nothing happened afterwards. It just went to bed, absolutely buried. So I'm sort of glad that Chris is having another crack at this little bit about creating this little bit as well, because it does seem important. So the Marshall's bit is back in there. We've also got the bit about the other problem about the anti-mutant group Purity, which was in Chris Claremont's Mechanis miniseries, which was Kitty Pryde's miniseries, missed off the X-Treme X-Men run. And this Purity group are on the edge of becoming actually a really big hate group. So there's that brewing in the background as well. So they're going to act as marshals. They're going to go hunting using certain people such as Rachel, who can hunt other mutants, etc. through her powers, even though she hates it because she was once a hellhound. I think I'm saying that correct. I could be wrong. We also get this weird moment with Rogue saying, I'm basically a flat scam myself. Now, if I'm thinking that this comes in right at the end of X-Treme X-Men once they've saved Rachel, I'm trying to think, Rogue, I'm sure Rogue, before they went on that mission, was giving her mutant powers back because she needed them to save the day. I'd have to go look at that, but maybe Chris has got his timeline slightly off, because if Rachel's back, I'm pretty sure Rogue's got her powers back now, because Sage initiated that second whatever stage because she said she wanted to help her friends, etc. So maybe that's a little bit wrong. Also, Sage is standing in the background searching as well while Bishop's got her back. And the only thing Storm tries to instill within Kitty Pryde when they're going off on this mission is to try and, you know, when it comes to Ogun, let me make the decisions, don't make them, because you're going to be making them from an emotional point of view, emotional standpoint of view, and you could be perhaps wrong in what you're doing and maybe make a mistake, etc. And who knows what surprises Ogun has. So Ogun is at the moment on another plane, I'm going to say, and he is going to be patient and he's waiting for the real host. So, and it says next things get bad. So he's done his whole little thing that he would have done back in the day in X-Treme X-Men. Next, this is what's coming up, man. You want to be on this. So very, very good issue. I feel that's a nice one. I've gone from the homage variant. I think that's what I've gone for. Yeah, no, I think I have. And this is a really nice cover. This was a really good issue. I'm really happy because I could have easily gone X-Treme X-Men. I'll just read it later, you know. But I thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to buy it. I like X-Treme X-Men. I like Chris. And if he's come back to write these characters, which most of them he wrote for a very long time, if I get my English correctly, he's doing this already. I'm enthralled now. I'm not sure whether this is a mini issue, but maybe if we're lucky and Chris does one hell of a job selling comics, he's going to be back up there writing X-Men comics all the time. And I feel like I'm already in for a run now. I want to read more of this because this was a time where I actually read. This is when I started getting back into X-Men. The first stuff that I started reading, other than Josh Whedon's Astonishing X-Men, was X-Treme X-Men, New X-Men. I love this run, the original run of this. So if Chris is coming in with, and he is a massive talent, and he's coming in and he's delivering like this every issue, I'm in, man. I want a whole 45 issues. I'm in. So anyway, I look forward to hearing from you. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you didn't like it. Tell me if you're like, man, I no longer want to read anything like this. I like the Krakow in the era. Now I'm no longer interested. Do let me know. I do want to hear from you. Jenny, I've not heard from you a while. I hope you're doing well, and you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue as well. Make sure you look after yourself, very important these days. If you're not subscribed and you like my stuff, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you to those that are subscribed. Really appreciate you folks for helping my channel grow and making me want to do more videos as well. This is sort of stuff that drives me. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.